Hello, it's Paulie from All About Motorbikes, and just there is the infamous Graham Calvert. We've just put his new top yoke on, and by God, it looks lovely. So we're going to go to the petrol station, then we're going to ride over to Thornton le Dale and have a coffee. Yes, he's got his new top yoke on, bless him. Are you ready, sir? Yeah, that's where we're going now. All right then. You've got a card, haven't you? A
debit card, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he's been here this morning, and it's such a lovely day as well. So we've done his top yoke and fitted him, wired his phone mounted charger up for him. So we're off now to put some fuel in the bikes, and then we're off over to Thornton le Dale for a coffee and to say ta-ra to each other. I can't believe it, it's February now and it's absolutely glorious. 13 degrees, sunshine, blue skies, you couldn't ask for better. So we finally filled up of fuel, and we're heading over towards Whitby, which will turn down towards Slights, up Blue Bank, and I think we go by, what the hell do they call that? The Hole of Hawkham, Farley Dales as well. So it should be a good little trip out, and then when I get back I'll have a bit of painting to do for the wife. Oh, this is the life. I can't believe that we have this weather. And the view here is one of my favourite views. I mean, spoilt I would say by the works, but it's still an absolute fantastic view. Yes, it was good to have Graham over again actually. I mean, the difference on his bike with that new top yoke on is absolutely amazing. Now you'll see it on his video, he'll show you it, so go over to his channel and check that video out when he gets that uploaded. So Graham's ready, I mean thoroughly ready now. There is one last job that we will be doing to his bike, and that's putting the new indicators on, which I think are like a smoky grey rather than clear, but brilliant. And that down there is Skinning Grove, the Iron Valley. I'm over the moon with this poor man's throttle cruise control. It absolutely works a treat. When I first got it I thought, oh, that might not fit, but it blooming does. This is the town of Loftus, and we're going to turn right here and we're going to head up towards Liverton Mines, the village of Liverton Mines, not the actual mines themselves, and then the village of Liverton, which will take us out onto the Moor Road. So these are all miners' cottages, these, for the mines. I think that's what they were built for. They're only very small as well. I will say the sun visor that pops down in this helmet is absolutely brilliant. I've had one on a cheaper helmet before and I put that down, that doesn't make a difference, but this one actually allows you to look in towards the sun, it's that good. And we're coming into the little town of Liverton, folks. This is a nice little village. I'd live here because it's out of the way, isn't it? I think there's a little pub up here called the Water Wheel as well. That's a nice little place, it does some nice meals. Yeah, the Water Wheel's just up here ahead. It's a good little pub. It's actually quite nice just to ride at a nice steady pace as well, because this is more like it. This is the kind of rides that I wanted to bring to you, even though I brought a couple of my rides home to and from work. They aren't my idea of a nice vlog for you guys anyway, but suffice to say, This is much better. The only bad thing about coming out on this to this moor road is you're exposed, so there's a lot of wind coming off the moors. Coming up on our right, folks, is the big body of water scaling dam. Yes, there's a fire over there. They're burning the moorland. See, now I've got that on there, my hands free, so and I'm still able to go, which gives that a rest, because there's nothing worse than your wrist starts to ache after a lot of miles. And then simply just to get rid of it, throttle forward and it's it. That's it, it releases it. It's a brilliant piece of kit. For something so blooming simple as well, that's what I like about it. Never good to come over a blind summit at a massive rate of knots, even if you do know the road. So there's about 96 days left to go till we're actually in Scotland. I was talking to a gentleman before, maybe last night on the internet, and he's heading up at the end of May, April should I say, the month before. And I'm looking forward to seeing what footage he brings back of that ride. It's just something that we want to do and get it off our bucket list before it becomes a problem up there and people are getting sick already of all these people doing the North Coast 500. Even though it's bringing them some money in and stuff like that, they're not particularly happy about it, let's put it that way. My friend lives down in Leelholm that way. An ex-work colleague who's decided to retire, which was a shame, like, because his wife they went on holiday together, and she likes doing a bit of scuba diving, and she'd gone out on her own scuba diving and got back in the car to drive back to where they were staying, and someone hit her, killed her. That was a hell of a carry on for him to get his wife's body brought home and buried and that here. And it was a year after that that he decided to leave, which was a shame, because he's one of the nicest people that you could ever want to meet. A gentle soul. And the view that you get coming over here actually is quite a nice one as well. You see all the way into Whitby, and you see the North Sea, which is really nice. Seems a bit hazy today for some reason. I mean, look at that view there, folks. How's that for the view? It's a brilliant view. And then you get this view coming down in, you see all down into there, into Whitby way. Look at that. It is hazy, mind, I will give it that. But that's a view and a half, really. I'll tell you what, I have to say that Graham's got a bike there, the Suzuki 750 GSXF. And it looks absolutely amazing for its age. It is probably one of the best examples of that bike that there is on the road today. Now, he is going to absolutely look after it. That's guaranteed. That goes without saying, because Graham is fanatical about taking care of his bike. So if for any reason that Graham decided to part ways with that bike, whoever gets that bike will get an absolute cracker. And I mean a cracker. Just put the thumbs up to see if he was okay, and he seems to be. Seems to be enjoying himself. I am still very, very, very grateful and humble that Graham gave me this Airhawk. Look at the view there. Just that valley as it dips in there. That's gorgeous. Yeah, I'm very humbled he did, because it's made life on the pan. On the pan. It's made life so much more better. This is the village of Slights that we're heading into. That you can see that's scattered all along the bankside. Graham's decided to take the lead. This is over the River Esk, and there's the Esk Railway. I love these butchers and things like that, these village butchers, and you know, and these kind of villages. For me, this is what makes North Yorkshire. The air feels cleaner as well. It even lifts your spirits inside when you're seeing this kind of beauty. Well, that's what it does for me, so I just can't help but tell you what it does for me. So it's 17 miles to Pickering, 25 to Malton. I'm so glad I put the touring screen back on. That sports screen wasn't for me. Sorry if the sun is in your eyes and it's glaring and taking away the actual natural beauty that we're seeing. Yes, there's small burns all over the moor. And up in the distance there, whether you'll be able to see it, is Farlingdales as well, the early warning system for the Yanks. For the Americans, should I say. For our brothers. See, that throttle thing there is no good, I think, for roads like this. It's excellent for when you're on a motorway, but when you're on daft little roads like this, it doesn't. You don't need it. It's a whole different riding experience, riding on the pan over these moors. It's nice. I'm glad Graham's happy with his bike now. It just does not make all the difference for him, bless him. And he is my best friend, and a friend I'll have for the rest of our lives. So God knows where it's going to take us and how many travels we're going to do together, but there's quite a few in the pipeline. Many possibilities, let's put it that way. And over to our left here is Farlingdales. You should be able to make it out now. That is the early warning system. Years ago there used to be like golf balls, 3 or 4 of them over there, but been reduced to that now. Because that's, well, we've modernised, haven't we? That's all I need. Don't need any more than that. That is an American base, that. Although it's called RAF Farlingdale, so correct me if I'm wrong. There she be, in all its glory. Makes a massive difference having a nice bike to ride. And Graham's bike is a completely transformed bike to what it was when he first got it as well. I mean, he said he can't believe the difference. Now he will know, because he's been riding it for over a year now, so he knows that bike like the inside of, you know, anything. Like the back of his hand. We're coming up to a landmark up here called the Hole of Hawkham. The Hole of Hawkham. We wind our way up the little pass, and it's a natural phenomenon. It's in the shape of like a horseshoe, but it's a big depression in the ground. It's massive. A lot of tourists and visitors come this way to see it. Well, they see the old pub's gone, been demolished. There's always one. Always one impatient person, isn't there? That's the Hole of Hawkham. And as I said, there's tons of visitors come here every year. Overtaking on double white lines. What an idiot. An absolute idiot. This is what lets bikers down, people like that. Overtaking on a double. Look at him, he's out of the way again. What a crackerjack. Whereas me and my buddy up front, we don't really care. We'll just chill out. enjoy the ride for what it is. Someone is relatively slow, mind, but still, it's not the point. You don't go putting your life in danger. It's been a nice experience doing these jobs for Graham on Tetley, like the servicing and things like that. Before we actually go to Scotland, I'm going to drain the diff oil out of here, you know, the shaft, because it's shaft driven. I'm going to change the oil in that, and I'm also going to give it an oil filter change as well. And one thing I like about this is the plugs are so easy to get at, so I'm going to give it a set of new plugs. So I'm going to put 4 new plugs on, oil filter and new oil and diff oil, so it should make a difference. And then when I do come back from there, the next job that I'll have to do is I want to change all the brake oils, the brake fluids and stuff like that, and check the pads. The pads are okay. I've already checked them for wear and they're not too bad at all, so they aren't going to be that bad. The confidence that this bike gives you as well in your ability to ride, especially at, I wouldn't say we're not speeding, but comfortable speeds that are within the limits of the law. This bike allows you to feel the confidence to take that speed into your corners as well. You know, so you're not going in too fast, you've got the right kind of speed and everything going, and to come out as well. It's confidence inspiring to ride this bike. It's not a bad little bike at all. Well, I say a little bike, it's quite a big bike. One thing I do miss on it is the which I had on the gaffer, is the gear indicator. Now this doesn't let you know what gear you're in, but it's no big deal. It's not a deal breaker for me. It's not like you have to have it, but it's just nice to know. Sometimes I have to double check, and I suppose there's nothing wrong with that either. Coming into the village of Thornton le Dale, and we're down, yes, Thornton le Dale, we're here. So that's us left now. Graham, he's on his way home and I'm on my way home. It was a nice ride down here actually. I love these houses here. And I was just on about the suspension to Graham, because he's just had his done, and he said it feels so much nicer now as he's riding. And I said, well actually, to be honest with you, I don't really notice the bumps anymore as much as I used to on the gaffer, because this just soaks them up. It takes them all in its stride. Oh, it was really good to have a couple of hours with my friend and get out for a ride with him. Thoroughly enjoyed myself there. So I'm just going to head home now, folks, and maybe it's just a short vlog, but there's a couple of pictures I'm going to drop in, and one is of the yoke which is now attached to Graham's bike, and the other one is actually Graham sat on Big Red. So what I'll say to you now is, folks, thank you very much for watching. I know, sorry it's only a short one, but there'll be more to come. So bye for now, folks. Bye.